we all have a money story, and it's basically our own narrative and how we experience money growing up. So most of the way that we are with money today, and those behaviours that we're talking about before, overworking, overspending, oversaving, all of those patterns and behaviours are created between the ages of 2 and 12. So your money story is an exercise we actually go back and reflect on. What was life like for me growing up? So was money spoken about? Was money the source of disagreements and arguments? Was there a lot of money? Was there not much money? Did you see your parents work really hard for money, or did money just come easily? Was there a lot of judgment around money by other family members, maybe grandparents or aunties or uncles? And it's about going through and exploring what was your experience early with money, because that has deeply informed the way that you manage your money today. And most of us don't actually understand or have an awareness around where our patterns and behaviours were formed. And we need to have that, because otherwise we can't make changes. Like, we might start the new year with, I'm just going to do money different. I'm going to be different with it. I'm going to be better with it this year.
I think we've all set one of those goals. I want to be better with money in 2024.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But unless you actually know the origin of where those patterns and behaviours come from around your money, it's very hard to change. But once you have that awareness and going through and unpacking and just physically writing out your money story, what was money like? What was my 3 earliest money memories, and how have they impacted me today? And because those memories get formed at a really young age, and as an 8 or 9-year-old, we don't have the resources to actually make changes or support ourselves. We're reliant on our parents. Like, we can't earn our own money. We don't have that autonomy when it comes to our finances. So we rely on our adults, and sometimes they don't have the capacity to give us what we needed as children. So it's about, as an adult, whilst your 8-year-old self is running and making all your financial decisions, it's about looking at what you experience and saying, yeah, that was really tough for me, or I do this today. I get myself in debt because of this, or I'd like to go shopping to feel better, because those patterns and behaviours were created early on. And then it's about recognising that and saying, hey, I'm a grown adult now. I've got all of the resources and abilities that I need, or if I don't have them, I'm old enough that I can make them now myself. And then that's when you can create the change.
So for someone listening who hasn't potentially thought about their money story and their relationship with money growing up, it could be as simple as getting out a piece of paper, opening a notebook, opening a Google Doc, and just over the next week or so, putting all the memories that they have about their finances, how their parents talked about money, how their friends and their siblings engage with them with financial topics growing up. I think in the past you've talked about pocket money and maybe did you get to have lunch money at school and things like that? Did you get new things? Did you go on holidays? Did you have to do some chores? Like, anything you think of, just writing all of that down to start uncovering your own relationship with money. And is this something you recommend people doing before having a conversation with your partner about money?
Absolutely, because what I know to be true is that we will attract a partner to us that we think are going to solve all of our problems. Like, all of those things that we missed out on as children, we are looking for them in our partner. And that is a recipe for disaster. So we really need to be our own rescue first. And so by actually going through and writing out your money story, and it might be as simple as just starting with, what are the 3 most significant memories that I recall about money? And I know that if you can recall something as vividly as it's happening today, there was a lot of emotion attached to that experience that you had. And when we have that, they in their neural pathways, they kind of fire and wire, and it can deeply, deeply impact us. So even if you can just start with a couple, and if you do this exercise and you find that I just don't remember anything about money, just be kind with yourself and try it again. And if nothing's coming, just leave it a day or 2 and then just come back at it again. And it might be, if you can't think of anything specific about money, think about your bedroom. What was that like? Think of other things, your friends at school, and kind of start from there. Because for some of us, we might have had some really challenging experiences around money, and our brain is really smart, and it will just lock that down, and it'll block that from our memory. So that does make it a bit harder. But going through your story is so important.